So just to start with, Wade, obviously disappointing results on Saturday, but in terms of the performance, especially after that Exeter game, and what did you see signs of improvement? Were you more happy with the performance?
Yeah, definitely saw signs of improvement from Exeter. Yeah, in terms of performance, it was. I watched it back, and we get all the stats, and it really reiterates what you thought. There was very little between the two teams. They were probably a little bit cuter in both boxes. And really, that was the difference.
Yeah, and obviously you haven't scored since the opening game. Is that a frustrating thing? Is that something that you can work on, or is it down to a little bit of luck maybe, or just strikers being a bit more ruthless?
No, you asked me if it's frustrating. It is frustrating because we probably haven't got what we deserved from the performances, and ultimately that's because we played Barnsley and they get a deflected goal. We played Portsmouth the other night and Bonzi puts one, just kisses the post, TP's just the wrong side of the post. But all you can keep doing is keep putting yourself in those positions so that when there'll come a game where that does fall the right side of us and we do get that break. And as long as we're in the game and we're competitive, make sure it's an important goal.
And it is very early on as well. We're only a few games in as well, so you're not going to panic just yet about not having any points. Is that the message to the players? Just keep working hard, and it will come.
Yeah, we're three league games in, so believe in the process, believe in what you're doing. All the data, when you watch the games back in the cold light of day, that all backs it up. The minute it's very fine margin, so. Of course, we break it down because we want to improve and we want to get better. We're not blind to that, but generally it's been between the two boxes that we've just fallen the wrong side. So no, I believe that we're a good team and a good bunch of players and a good squad. So keep doing the things we're doing, keep working hard, do the basics really well, and ultimately things will fall the right side for us.
And Fleetwood on Tuesday night, what do you make of them?
Good, loads of energy, front foot, probably have an addition or two before tomorrow. So watched their games, thought they should have beat Port Vale, got done off 2 set plays, really good win against Plymouth. So we know it'll be. I don't like this narrative. We've had 3 big teams, and then we go and play Fleetwood. I think that's a little bit disrespectful to them. They're a very good side, some good players.
We saw obviously Christian Norton brought back to the club last week. He came off the bench at the weekend. Do you think he perhaps has a little bit of a point to prove from last season? Maybe didn't see the best of him. I know he had a bit of an injury, didn't he, last time? But what are you expecting from him? What are you expecting for him to bring to the team?
I'm expecting we probably didn't get the Christian that we expected last time. So he did have a niggle in his groin. He came to us carrying that. All his physical tests since he's come back this time are fitter, stronger. On top of that, I think he's hungrier because he has had a little bit of a bump. So I said to you guys at the weekend, we signed Christian last year because we think he's a good player. We still think he's a good player, and now we're going to give him the opportunity to show it.
And we've still obviously got a couple of weeks left on the transfer window. Are there other areas you were looking at? Is it a case of just waiting to see maybe what comes up over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, always looking. So I think there is a little bit of scope to do something. So it's just monitoring it and seeing what. There's a couple of areas or a few things that we'd like to add to the squad. It's whether we get the chance to do it or not.
So that's all from me. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wade, one of the players that Fleetwood had rumoured to be very close to signing is Cole Stockton. Obviously somebody that you would have known a lot about from last season from his achievements, but didn't score against Cheltenham. But what would you expect from him if he's chucked straight in for his debut against you tomorrow night?
I don't know. I don't want to speculate on. I probably shouldn't touch that, to be honest, John, because at the minute he's, as far as I know, he's still a Morecambe player. So probably a little bit of remiss of me to answer questions on him at the moment. But
Okay.
if you're asking me about him, he's obviously a very good player.
Yeah, and if he does complete the move, it won't be somebody you don't know all about already, will he? So what he did last season at Morecambe.
No, but whoever they play at the front end of the pitch is gonna. I mean, they've got good options. They've generally played a front three. Obviously, Paddy Lane suspended, so whichever three they field, they're going to have good options at the top end of the pitch, whether that includes Cole Stockton or not.
Yeah, I think one of those players, Callum Morton, came on and made a bit of an impact last year. It was a bit of a mad game there last year, wasn't it? Nearly exactly a year ago. Started so well, and then it was a bit of a late blow, wasn't it? I think 3-2 in the end. They scored right at the end, but it was a bit of a thriller, wasn't it? Do you remember much about that one?
Yeah, I remember we were good for chunks of it, very good, and then we felt at the time that we got a little bit complacent. We probably thought that the job was done, and learnt the lesson quite quickly that you can't rest on your laurels for a minute.
You said after the game Saturday you don't want anyone to become despondent, especially the players. From what you've seen of them this morning, are they still smiling? Obviously they want to get a result, but are they seeming like they're keeping spirits up?
They smiling. I don't know if they're smiling, but they look focused and determined, and the atmosphere around the training grounds as it's always been. They've come in and we've debriefed the game. We've had a look at Fleetwood. Then they've gone out to train, and they've trained really well again. So no, it's not laughing and joking and smiling, but it's definitely loud, upbeat, positive, and bullish about the game tomorrow.
Is everyone available who was for the weekend, apart from Matty Blair? Has everyone else come through Saturday's game all right?
Yes, apart from Grant Horton. Grant's got a bruised foot in training. Other than that, everybody's fine.
Right. And Zach Guinan has gone on loan to Cirencester. I think he played Saturday. They've got another game tomorrow night. So good opportunity for him to get some football. What will you be hoping the loan holds for him at Cirencester Town?
So we talked about Zach, about what he needs to get out of the loan, and he probably needs to understand what Saturday football looks like, how he prepares himself and his body for that. But also, I mean, he's going to be a good size, Zach. So it's starting to learn how to use his body and start to impose his physicality onto other defenders, which he's probably not had the opportunity to do in 18s football. So yeah, it'll be good experience for him.
Yeah. Is anyone else close to going out? Or looking to get anyone else out to get some football at the moment, or is that not on the agenda at the moment?
I don't know if anybody's close at the moment. No.
I think you were on the pro license with Liam Manning. Is that right? Was he on the same? Yeah. I just wondered if you.
Where are you going with this?
I was going to ask. Obviously, I know you know Matty Taylor well from pro license, and I had a chat with him last week. But
yeah.
He's obviously massive expectations there at MK. They've not had a great start. Is he somebody you speak to regularly?
I've not spoken to Liam since I spoke to him in the off season. I think Liam. I've not spoken to him this season, but again, really good Liam. So he proved he showed that last season, and just like us, I'm sure MK will come again.
Yeah, and Scott Brown, really I know he was involved in the coaching at Aberdeen, but it's his first managerial role. How much are you looking forward to taking him on? Because, what a career he had, didn't he? Like, you played at the top level and also played a lot of times for his country as well.
Oh no, he had a much better career than me, and he had a ridiculous career, Scott. So I don't know Scott that well, but he was at the Burnley player final. think I had so many people there. I think a few of my mates ended up taking his. I think he stayed up all night. A few of my mates took his room. But he's gone in. Like I say, I can only judge Fleetwood off 3 or 4 games that I've seen him. But front foot, energetic. 4-3-3, which is a system he will have known from playing. So definitely see. I think from initial thoughts, he's done a really good job there.
Yeah, just finally, Wade, it's obviously a hell of a trip to make, whether it's a Saturday or a Tuesday. What's the plan for tomorrow? Are you going to set off early and have a sort of hotel stop on the way up there? Is that the plan for?
Yeah, we'll leave. I think we'll leave late morning, and then it'll be up to Fleetwood pre-match, and then on to the game.